When I was a kid, my friends and I got arrested for vandalizing a graveyard. $10,000 in damages. But we had a great lawyer who knocked it down to criminal trespassing and necrophilia. I make a lot of jokes about death because it's hilarious. My whole family's like that, kind of, you know. In fact, well before I was even born, my great-grandmother threw herself in front of a bus. Police tried to say she was committing suicide, but the family knew that she was just trying to stop civil rights. Yesterday, I accidentally hit a little kid with my car. It wasn't serious. Nobody saw me. And people get weird when kids die. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Like about a month ago, some kids in my neighborhood were playing hide and go seek, and one of them ended up in an abandoned refrigerator. It's all anybody talked about for weeks. I said, who cares? How many kids you know get to die a winner? I assume you guys all knew who you were coming to see tonight. But if you didn't, you sure as shit know now. This past Christmas, I told my girlfriend for months in advance, months. I said, baby, all I want from you this year is an Xbox. That's it. Beginning and end of list Xbox. You know what she got me? A homemade frame with a picture of us. From our first date together, which was fine. Because I got her an Xbox. I've got this 5-year-old nephew, and he really looks up to me. Last week his goldfish died, and it was upsetting for him. So I took him into the bathroom, and I helped him flush the fish down the toilet. And there was an awkward moment afterwards when he turned to me and said, Uncle Anthony, am I gonna get to see my fish again when I go up to heaven? And I didn't know what to tell him. So I said, look, kid, there's no way that I can know what happens to fish when they die, but I can tell you that there is no God. Who do you think was smarter, Jesus or Buddha? I mean, just in terms of not letting themselves get crucified. Now, I'm not a religious man. You guys can probably tell. But my Uncle Tom, you guys, super religious. Last month, he's walking down the street. He gets mugged and shot in the chest. Now, miraculously, and I mean miraculously, he always keeps a Bible in his left chest pocket, and he had something to read while he bled to death. I'm always flying somewhere, always in an airport. Even flying into Chicago a couple days ago, 2.5-hour flight delay. I'm stuck in an airport bar, talking to some random asshole. And I got nowhere to go. So I'm like, hey man, what do you do? And he says, and I quote, Oh, nothing right now. But I used to be a priest. As in, oh shit, right? But I got nowhere to go. So we keep talking, we keep drinking. Finally, 2 hours goes by. Guy gets up, he says, hey man, I gotta catch my flight. But I don't wanna lie to you. I used to be a priest, I got kicked out because I molested a kid. Now here's the thing. After talking to this guy and getting to know this guy for 2 hours, I have to admit he was actually a really cool guy. Like, if you could forget about, all that Jesus bullshit. Yeah, that's a favorite. I'm probably gonna tell it again later. When I was growing up, I was pretty poor. Not like now when I'm rolling in it. But when I was a kid, I didn't have much, But I knew Father's Day was coming up. And I wanted to get my dad something that I could not only afford, but that would also show how much I cared. So what I did was I got him a t-shirt. It said, "World's Greatest Dad, Semi-Finalist." My mom used to put a note in my lunchbox every morning, and she would hide it so I couldn't find it until I got to the cafeteria that afternoon with my friends. I couldn't appreciate it at the time, though, because every note said, "Sorry, I didn't pack your lunch." My mom was the worst at having to break bad news to her children. I remember I came home from school one day, she said, "Anthony, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've been having an affair, and you can't tell Dad." I said, "Well, why not?" She said, "'Cause he just passed away." I love to drink. I do it all the time, every day. But my girlfriend, you guys, my girlfriend has never once touched a drop of alcohol in her entire life. See, both of her parents had huge cocaine problems. And she watched it tear the family apart, so now she just sticks to that. I don't live with my girlfriend. She lives a few miles away from me. Last night she called me up at 3 in the morning, said, "Anthony, get over here right away. I think someone's trying to break into my bedroom window." And I dropped the phone. And I was so pumped up with adrenaline, it was tough to get back to sleep. Last weekend I was in Boston, staying with my girlfriend's father. Brutal. He wouldn't let us sleep in the same bedroom together. He says, "Sorry, buddy, I don't trust you." I said, "Trust me, buddy, I'm your daughter." My dad was a big-time alcoholic, major league alcoholic, blackout every night kind of alcoholic. But to his credit, my dad never once laid a finger on either me or my mom, not once. And I don't know if it was just because he loved us so much, or if he just hated my sisters. But either way, he was a great dad. I remember a tough time for me. I was like 10 years old. My parents called me into their bedroom. They say, "Anthony, we want to get a divorce. You have to decide which one of us you want to live with." And I was a 10-year-old kid. I didn't know any better. I just said, Dad, I want to live with Dad." It was heartbreaking. My mom just looked at the floor and said, "Well, whatever you want, Anthony." And my dad just said, "I don't want a divorce anymore." And maybe the most uncomfortable moment of my life was when my dad gave me the sex talk. Oh, God. The old man was into some really crazy shit. Now, this is the ideal time to tell you guys that I love to meet fans after the show. I like when people come up and say, Anthony, you're a genius. Anthony, best show I've ever seen. And that's it. I don't ever want to hear anything else. If you've got a bone to pick with me over something I've said tonight, instead, you should just shut the fuck up. Because seriously, I know more about comedy than you do. And you came to see me. Like I said, shut the fuck up. But still, even after I've just said all that, you still feel like you need to come up and bitch. Well, then I will be as polite as I can possibly be. However, it is ill-advised. Because you will end up as a joke in my act. Much like the blind guy who came up and complained to me in Seattle after a show. He walked up and said, Anthony, Anthony. Why didn't you tell any blind jokes tonight? I came here to hear blind jokes tonight. And I said, well, here's a blind joke.